You're listening to Qwerpline here on QWRP-FM. Qwerpline this week is brought to you by Granny Marge's Man-Free Barges. Take a relaxing cruise down the Shaughnessy River on our luxury barges without any pesky men around. Recharge on the barge.
Hello and good day and welcome to Qwerpline. G-Money here with the A-Train. How's it going, Alex?
The light is burning me. The light will take me home.
That's great.
You say something?
I thought I was, but maybe not. This is live, you know.
Yep.
Okay then, well, it's a beautiful, normal day here in Innsbruck, where the Innsbruck Tourism Board says if you lived here, you'd live here. It's not one of their better slogans.
But it is tautological.
It is that. That reminds me, Alex, I was shooting pool down at the town hall the other day, and they have a new drink in for the holidays. It's called the Hot Tautology.
Well, what's in that one?
It's a jigger of warm scotch with another jigger of warm scotch.
That's awfully clever for the town hall.
Well, their ice machine was broken, so that's why. And now the news. Road closure reminder, fall is in full swing, so of course this weekend is the annual Innsbruck Marathon.
My second favorite leg-moving exercise.
Not going there, but I will remind our listeners that this year the steeplechase makes its return.
The moratorium was lifted?
That's what the organizers tell me.
I thought it was court-mandated.
It was, but apparently it was voluntary, and they lost a lot of volunteers last year.
Well, it sounds like the paramedics are going to have their work cut out for them. Try to keep those roads clear.
Speaking of having their work cut out for them, Innsbruck Search and Rescue is now entering the fourth day of the search for the 8 missing persons lost in the Bumper Crop Farms corn maze.
You told me last week it was maize, not corn.
The 8 missing humans with thoughts and feelings and families of their own were last seen on Thursday entering the corn maze at Bumper Crop Farms, and Innsbruck Search and Rescue is putting out the call for more volunteers to help them find those 8 people and the 13 other volunteers that are also now missing.
I guess we know now that whatever Farmer Bumper put in that field to make it grow has worked a treat.
You're not kidding. Of course, we here at Qwerpline are trying to do our part, so we go now to our own Richter Hammock Slam in the QWRP Traffic Quopter in the skies above Bumper Crop Farms. How's it going up there, Richter?
Graham, I'm in the air and traffic is flowing smoothly down Main Street in downtown Innsbruck. There are no accidents, and the day is free and clear for all travelers.
You son of a bitch.
God damn it. That's great news for commuters, Richter. I thought that we'd sent you to Bumper Crop Farms.
Meanwhile, on 4th, traffic is backed up due to a Girl Scout troop helping an old lady cross the street. It's a bit of a nuisance, but hey, they're doing their part. I believe they didn't even take her wallet out this time.
What a bunch of thugs.
Mercenaries, technically. Richter, I really appreciate this wonderful traffic advice you're giving us, but you were supposed to be trying to assist in the search and rescue over the corn maze at Bumper Farms.
Graham, that's what it said on the sheet, but you wouldn't catch me anywhere near that Bermuda Triangle. 21 people have already disappeared, and while I do not have a wife and children, I hope that one day, if I were to disappear, someone would mourn me.
It's good to have hopes and dreams.
Richter, could you just fly near the corn maze?
Not in your life, Graham. There is a self-imposed no-fly zone over top of that corn maze, much like the city-imposed no-fly zone over top of the Julesburg Motor Oval.
You don't just get to make up your own no-fly zones.
I'm the one in the helicopter. You're the one with the microphone.
Richter, you also have a microphone.
Game, set, and match, Richter. Back to you, Graham.
QWRP, doing our part to help. Before we move on, Innsbruck Search and Rescue would like to remind you that if you are going to the Bumper Crop Farms corn maze, which is inexplicably still open to the public, dress warm, bring a snack, plenty of water, a flare, and whatever religious book will bring you comfort in dark times.
And Farmer Bumper would like us to remind you to bring cash because he does not accept credit cards for entry into the maze corn.
And now over to our summer intern Derek, who has an interview with Thurpston County Alderman Richard Thurpston. His Honor Alderman Thurpston is in town this weekend as Grand Marshal of the Innsbruck Marathon, and he will be firing the Innsbruck ceremonial blunderbuss to start the race off on Saturday.
Oh, is that why the drugstore is selling earplugs at twice the price?
Over to you, Derek.
Oh, God. They're gonna kill me. I got here too late. I should call it. No, don't call ahead. Don't call ahead. This toast is good, though. No more toast. Oh, she's pretty. Hi, I'm on the radio. What? Right, no, in like 20 minutes. No, I'm supposed to be... I can get a coffee.
I guess we'll check back in with Derek later in the show. Did he just land a date?
That's what it sounded like.
I'm honestly kind of impressed.
Yeah, he's got really good cardio.
Yeah. And speaking of which, it's now time for sports with QWRP sports reporter Clem Alberts.
Great segue, G.
How's it going, Clem?
For the last time, it's Clementine.
Right, we did talk about that.
I thought we had a rapport.
Where you get my name wrong every single day is not a rapport.
Well, what's going on in local sports, Clementine?
Well, sports fans, it's finally sideball season again.
Oh, thank goodness. I just can't handle those empty summer months.
I've already laundered both my foam fingers this year.
We all know the Innsbruck High sideball team, the literal Tigers, have pretty high expectations on their tigery shoulders after coming 5th in last year's sideball grinder. And if you want to follow along with the action, why wouldn't you? The December grinder schedule is as follows. On December 2nd, we of course have the big kickoff home game here at Innsbruck High. Then we go on to Chuff Field, where they fight the Topes on December 6th. On the 9th, the team buses down to Lesser Miami, where they'll get revenge on the Buccaneers after last year's defeat, I hope. Then we take a short break until the 17th, where the literal Tigers will hopefully bury the Mole Rats in Houston. And we finish up December on the 20th in Julesburg with what's sure to be an epic game against the Julesburg Miners.
Bit of a misnomer on the Miners team name. Some of them have failed and are now past the age of majority.
Well, Clementine is a sideball fan, and who isn't? That just sounds like it's going to be a great opener to the season. Let me ask you, you've looked at the teams. Are the literal Tigers going to be going with a 9-man defense this year? Are they going to go more sort of Parisian style? What do you think their plans are?
After last year's experiments with the triple hammy technique, I think Coach McFeels is taking things back to basics and focusing more on working the north wall. There's a couple of new players that I would watch out for. One of them being 14-year-old Johan O'Flaherty. He may be young, but he's got a thyroid problem and he's the size of a refrigerator.
Finally, something to shore up our defense on the south wicket.
Exactly, Alex. And last year's breakout star, Melody Yum, is returning as punter. So I think that's good news.
No way. She was on fire last year.
Well, she was, but she's out of the burn unit and ready to play.
Sensational. You know, I used to play second turnstile for the literal Tigers. Who's got that position this year?
Great question, Alex. Second turnstile is actually a linchpin of Coach McFeel's strategy this year. Coach McFeel's actually commissioned a lifelike dummy that's a replica of first turnstile player Salty Doll to confuse and confound the other teams.
I always wanted to do that when I was playing, but I never had the sideballs to pull it off.
And as a reminder to all our listeners, if you're as excited about the season as I am, be sure to head down to the Sideball Bake Sale in support of the literal Tigers this weekend at the Marathon. You can get your fill of shortbread sideballs.
Those sound a lot more pleasant to take to the mouth than a real sideball.
Yeah, the bake sale is in support of the team's orthodontics budget.
Well, all going well, I'll be there for the first breakout at every game this season. Love sideball so much. Thank you, Clem, for your time. Clementine, sorry. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you, Graham. And remember, be like a literal tiger and keep your balls in the air.
Now let's see if Derek has figured his life out for our exclusive interview with Aldersman Richard Thurpston.
Hey, Graham, the coolest thing just happened. I got to tell you all about it.
Is it an interview with His Honor the Aldersman Richard Thurpston?
So I'm here right now in the coffee shop on 4th, and I was finishing my coffee, and I was totally on time, and you wouldn't believe what happened. I'm sitting in the booth, and there was it's packed in, because you know it's packed in here every day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here, and I'm just finishing my coffee, I'm about to get up and leave, and this guy walks in, and he sits down at the booth with me, and you'll never guess who it is.
His Honor the Aldersman Richard Thurpston?
That's right, how did you know?
He was supposed to meet you there.
Oh, I thought that was tomorrow. My calendar's a day behind because I bought one of the discount calendars from the mall last weekend.
Hang on, you just bought a calendar in October?
My dad doesn't like it when I buy calendars too early in the year. He says it leads to bad planning.
Was he by chance glaring at you while he said bad planning?
No, he just kind of looks off into the distance like he's sad.
Derek, this is fascinating, but is Mr. Thurpston still with you?
Yeah, I bought him a coffee and everything so he'd stick around. I was having a really good conversation with him.
Oh, well, that's...
I didn't think to record it, though. I always wanted to have one of those off-the-record conversations, you know?
On the record, can you please start this interview?
You bet. Okay, Your Worship, I'm Derek. I'm with QWRP-FM's Qwerpline, and I wanted to interview you today. Is that okay?
Pleasure to be on the air with you here, Graham. This intern of yours is a very energetic young boy.
I'm 19, Your Majesty.
Mr. Thurston, thank you so much for joining us in Innsbruck this weekend to kick off the annual marathon.
It's my pleasure. I've been here many years before, and it's always quite a privilege being able to fire the opening blunderbuss.
Well, we're thrilled you keep coming back.
And I only hope that the steeplechase casualties will be at a minimum this year. Can scarcely believe that they allowed the event to return.
It is voluntary.
In God's hands now.
Indeed. And you had something else you wanted to announce today.
Yes, of course. I'm using this opportunity to announce a new sports scholarship for the youth of Thurston County.
Whoa, that's great! There's like a lot of youth in Thurston County. I know because I am one. And my dad says that you already have a metric ton of money anyway.
Derek, radio!
Oh, sorry. I guess an imperial ton of money?
Derek!
I'm allowed to quote my dad on the air, aren't I?
I don't usually like to make a fuss about my personal finances, but I have been blessed with quite a substantial fortune, and I'd like to give back to the community that put me in that position in the first place.
Thank you so much, Mr. Thurston. You've always been so generous to the people of this county.
One thing I always wondered, though, is how are you so lucky to have the same name as the county we live in? Did your dad name it after you?
Well, you see, Derek, I helped found Thurston County back in the 1970s as a way to break away from the oppressive tax regimes of...
Of who? Your lordship?
Mr. Thurston? Derek, I think his microphone cut out.
Oh, no, he just fell asleep.
Derek, what do you mean he fell asleep?
Oh, his eyes glazed over and he just went face down into his muffins. So sleepy.
Oh,
I don't see a lot of people sleep with their eyes open, though.
Derek, is he breathing?
I don't know how. His face is like right in that muffin.
Derek, call 911.
Oh, no, Alex, are you okay?
For Mr. Thurston.
Graham, call an ambulance. I think Alex is having a seizure.
Derek, just stay calm. We'll send someone to help.
I am calm, and I can do this interview on my own.
Who are we gonna send, Richter?
No, I'm going to call an ambulance. And also, listeners, if anyone is in the cafe on 4th and is a trained medical professional, please go and help the man face down in his muffins.
This is no way for a man to die.
Face down in his muffins?
No, sitting across from Derek.
I can still hear you guys.
Derek, is Richard Thurston dead?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Derek?
Yeah.
Were you responding to your name or in the affirmative that Mr. Thurston is dead?
Does this mean I'm haunted now?
Probably.
Ask your dad.
Derek, it sounds like help is arriving. We're going to let you go.
No, don't leave me here with the ghost.
Obviously, listeners, we can't confirm anything at this time, and please keep listening. We'll have more as it develops after this break. When we come back, it's a quarter hour of hilarious pranks as we team up with Jimmy Jam's Afternoon Jams and the Prank Patrol. I'm going to ask our engineer to not play the fart sound effect we have queued up.
Thanks, Gus.
And after that, live in the studio, Murtho the Clown promises to take us to Smileville.
I think he's writing checks he can't cash.
Really, Gus? Stick around, more Qwerpline after this.
You're listening to Qwerpline here on QWRP-FM. Thanks again to our sponsor, Granny Marge's Man-Free Barges. Take a relaxing cruise down the Shaughnessy River on our luxury barges because who needs men anyway? Granny Marge's Man-Free Barges. Live large on the barge.